Today's video is just going to be a follow-up to the video I posted last week. It was the Kodal Minerals AGM last week, guys, and we had the video presented by Bernard. I posted that for everyone to review. Hopefully you have done that now, and I'm just going to give a bit of a high-level summary of my thoughts on that. Yeah, coincidence. Yeah, coincidence. Yeah, coincidence. Something that happens by chance, I think not. What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy Wholesale. I hope, of course, you are all well. Today's Sunday, as promised, I would come back to you. I hope you have all had time to digest the presentation. There's also been the release then of the Q&A platform. A lot of the questions there I'm not going to repeat because there's just simply no point. I'll just literally talk about some of the summary, but of course, go on. You must, if you're interested in them, go on, listen to the presentation in full. I'll share the link here to the video. You can do that. But then the follow-up Q&A is also available, guys. Go in, some great questions. Some of the questions that people maybe been looking for me to answer have been answered there. It was a funny one. Some people reached out to me and I've been messaging back and forth, and I put a few things on Instagram, and again, plug in that there. Go on, add me, you'll get some more further information on these things. But it wasn't a bad AGM, but it most certainly wasn't the greatest either. It was kind of meh, no difference really. That's the way I see it in summary. Again, for anyone new to the channel, the whole reason I'm investing in Kodal is purely for the lithium play. The lithium market is going to be huge. We know about it, but it's only starting now. So the likes of these Premier African Minerals, Kodal, you know, all the Thor mining, the ones that we're kind of invested in, Vision Lithium, these ones are all about where they're going to be in maybe 10 years time. So they're not ones that I religiously look at every day and all that. Yes, of course, the big catalysts that come up, and you know, we'll keep an eye on them on the channel, but I'm not fully every day, oh, how's Kodal doing? We've spread money across the riskier plays. We could be loading up on the likes of a Glencore or an Albemarle or whatever, the bigger, stronger, well-known companies in this space. But we're rolling the dice. We're taking a chance that lithium is going to be so high demand, and these stocks are in the right space to hopefully deliver on their promises, and within the lithium resource that they've talked about, these companies could become multi-baggers, and that's why we're invested in them. But it's not something that I'm expecting to happen overnight. So I think it's about managing expectations. We know that Kodal's had one hell of a good run over the last year. It's been a great earner for most of us, and that's just the disclaimer out there. The ones that we're talking about here are high risk, because there's massive uncertainty. And this is one of the ones that came out of the meeting. So we've been talking about the Boggani project. That is the key and main reason why I'm invested in Kodal Minerals. There is the gold asset, and I feel that's the first thing that came out of the AGM. We've talked about the figures, fantastic. Really good resource there, and it's doing well for Kodal Minerals. The gold is a bonus and is a highlight, but that's not why I'm in. I wouldn't be anywhere near Kodal Minerals for the gold, although gold's very valuable. It's the lithium play. So I'm only going to focus on the Boggani project because that is what we've been all looking for. That is the real catalyst to get this thing throbbing. And unfortunately, guys, we're no further on than what we were, 6, 7, 8 months ago when we first started talking about it. They have, yes, of course, done the testing. They've got it further down the application process. The application's now with the Prime Minister. However, the permit, we're still waiting on, and that really could be any day. Now, and a couple of the first questions that Bernard was asked in the Q&A, it was just straight out asked, when will this happen? And Bernard rightly can't give us an answer. He's saying it's on their desk and he's hoping it'll go through. He did quote that it could be, he hopes that it'll be a short time frame. You're just going to have to watch this space, and we keep monitoring, and I think that's was the big disappointment for me. We were really hoping that we were going to get a big update on that. We didn't really. A lot of good stuff, a lot of talk, and we know it's a good resource, and you know, it's saying all the right things. The demand's going to be huge. One other good thing that came out of it was, he did say about the 680 a ton was potentially lowballing, and you know, you were sure that was seeing how inflation, especially in the construction industry now. Let me just take a step back in my expertise as a quantity surveyor. Inflation's ripe, guys. Serious pricing and fluctuations in the likes of your steel up 20-odd%, timber 30%, the list goes on. It's affecting the markets, and within that, there's no reason why any mining project or anything in that sort of space of getting resource wouldn't see a natural increase in their prices. So that is a positive. He's saying the 680 a ton, which is what their figures, projections are based on, is considered quite conservative. So that's a good thing. So definitely that 680 a ton feels very much achievable if we can get going. One other thing that's caused a bit of, not concern for me, but it's not something that I particularly wanted to hear, was dividend payments. I would rather that they kept investing their money to grow the company. But I think from reading between the lines, what he was saying is if we get to the point where we're making so much money, that he would do it then. So I don't think it's going to be something that, oh, we're making decent enough profit, let's introduce dividend payments. I believe it'll be more further down the road. So I still think it's going to be a multi-bagger. Dividend payments can be seen as obviously as a great thing for some people. As me, I would prefer not. I would prefer no dividends and just keep investing and grow the stock that way. And we know what happens with dividends. There'll always be a massive decrease on the day of the dividend, the ex-dividend, how all that fits. We've done videos on it before. So look, it's way down the road, no point wasting any more time, but I thought that was an interesting one, that there is shareholders out there asking the question about dividends. If we go on then to look at the charts, guys, we can see the technical. Again, take this as a pinch of salt because this is very high level, but these are the summaries. On the week chart, strong buy, where the oscillators are saying a sell, and on the month, we're still saying buy, and on the day chart, guys, it's all looking strong buy. All the averages, everything in place is looking good. Now for me to pull up the charts and do my own DD, I see that the MACD is obviously on a bullish trend. It is looking to cross over, perhaps on the higher side of things, well above the moving day average. But for me, in my trading strategy, when we cross below the 9-day moving average as a close, I would be concerned potentially that we could fall further. We can see that we are, technically speaking, there was a bit of a dip over it. So it'll be interesting to see the next trading day how that goes. We have got a sell symbol that has come in. So it'll be very interesting to see what comes on Monday. 28th was the day of the AGM, and we can see we have had a decline. It's been around 10% since the news of the AGM. So I think that speaks volumes. The likes of Kodal Minerals, they can have crazy days up 10, 20, 30% down the same. It's been a bumpy road. It's going to be a bumpy road. It's high risk. If we can look from the 30th of September to roughly that date of the 27th, you know, you're still up 534%. So it is not doom and gloom. It's very much still a great place to be in. Anyone looking to get into Kodal Minerals, I feel that it's potentially, the risk comes from, you know, this permit going through. But trust me, if this permit goes through, this stock is seeing nothing yet. It will absolutely throb. So it's that expectation. The risk is there for anybody wanting to take it, and there's a huge gain potential. But for example, say anything bad comes from that, you will see significant drops. So trade carefully, buy smart, and just got to keep on monitoring it. And I'll keep doing that on the channel. Get me on the Instagram, hit like, subscribe, help me grow the channel. I was doing buy me a coffee thing, but then I got my first monthly sort of payment, and I realized those guys take a lot of extra percentage off you. So I've seen a few other YouTubers now just simply doing their PayPal link. So there's my PayPal link. It means all the money goes to me if you do friends and family. Appreciate anyone wanting to support the channel without having to do any YouTube promotions or Discord groups. Trying to keep it real, trying to keep it raw, keep updating the socials for you. Free to ask me any questions. I get back to every single one of you guys. That's all part of it. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence. Yeah. Coincidence.
Something that happens by chance, I think not.